Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. As most of you may know, the NBA Finals do begin tonight, and I've seen a lot of posts on Instagram about people calling this the Paul George Finals since Paul George played for both the teams that played tonight. So I decided to take this up a notch. I gave each team the best players that have played for both teams, but I made each of them into the overall that they were when they were with that team. So I did some research. Like in 2K19, when Paul George was with the Thunder, he was a 91 overall, so I made him a 91 overall. So it's basically the same process for each one of these guys. They won't be the correct ages, but overall ratings all should be the same. Let's take a look at the rosters really quick. Paul George, Detlef Schrempf, Derek McKee, Ricky Pierce, Eddie Johnson, Young Oladipo, Sam Perkins, Ronald Murray, Moses Brown, George Hill, Ricky Sobers, DJ Augustine, Tony Bradley, Domantas Sabonis, and Doug McDermott for the Thunder. And then for the Pacers, they have Paul George, Victor Oladipo, Chuck Person, Domantas Sabonis, Detlef Schrempf, Ricky Sobers, George Hill, Jeremy Lamb, Mike Bantom, Derek McKee, Ricky Pierce, Doug McDermott, Kevin Ollie, Tony Bradley, and Kevin Watson. We are going to be force winning some games for some of these teams just to make sure that they both make the playoffs. We're going to try to match them up against each other in the finals and just see what ends up happening. So I guess we're just going to simulate to the All-Star break, see if either of these teams have any All-Stars in 2025. So here, taking a look at the All-Star teams, seeing if anyone made it for either of them. From the East, Paul George made it for the Pacers, and he's the only one. Out in the West, no Thunder players made it. So the Thunder are 29-22, Pacers are 33-18. We have had to force win some games for the Thunder. We are going to try to make them both match up in the finals. That is the plan. But the Thunder team definitely struggling a lot more than the Pacers are. Here at the end of the season, Indiana Pacers, Paul George does make the All-NBA third team and the All-Defensive first team. Thunder, Paul George makes the All-Defensive second team, and then obviously they don't have any rookies. The Thunder barely snuck in as the 10 seed. We are going to sim and force them to win both of their play-in games, make sure that they are at least in the playoff bracket. And now they're facing off against the Spurs. The Pacers, without force winning any of their games, are the 2 seed. If we take a look at the team stats, that's something I'm kind of wanting to see here. If we look at both these teams, they both probably did struggle a little bit on offense. The Pacers were 16th. The Thunder were actually 14th in points per game. Their defenses, I thought they would be better than that. The Thunder's was 18th in the league in points allowed. Pacers was 28th. So, that's the best. So the Pacers were the third best defense in points allowed per game in the league. Point differential, the Pacers were 4th best. OKC was 13th. Where's defensive rating? No idea where that is. Alright, well, let's just see what happens here in the playoffs. I think that it'll probably be the Pacers that win. That's my prediction here. But anything can happen, so we're gonna force win the Thunder. We're going to match them up in the finals. The Pacers are down 0-2. They actually win a game, okay. And we need to force win for the Pacers, I guess, because they're down 3-1. So that's not ideal. But the Pacers will end up winning the finals over the Thunder in this. In real life, my prediction is Thunder in 6. I really like how the Thunder match up with the Pacers. That's not just me being biased as a Thunder fan. I think that we can end up beating them. Hopefully we can beat them in here too, but don't know if that's really going to happen. So we did get both the teams to the finals. Both Paul Georges are conference finals MVPs. Now we'll take a look at the matchup one more time. No one should be hurt. Injuries are turned off. So the Pacers are better at the point guard, shooting guard, small forward positions. Power forward, the Thunder are better by 1, and center, the Thunder are better by 5 with Moses Brown over Tony Bradley. For this, I'd say probably in this 2K sim, Pacers in 4. Yeah, Pacers win game 1 by 32 points. The Thunder did win both the regular season games, which was kind of surprising, but they completely lock up Thunder Paul George, only 10 points in this game. Moses Brown only 4 and 10, Detlef Schrempf 19, 24 for Paul George. Game number 2 here is in Indiana yet again. They have home court advantage, obviously, and they completely destroy the Thunder. A little bit of a comeback, but too little too late for the Thunder. If we take a look at the box score, Domantas Sabonis 24 and 12, while Thunder Sabonis didn't even play. 22, 3 and 4 for Thunder Paul George, 18 and 8 for Ricky Pierce, 14 for George Hill, 10 and 12 for Sam Perkins, 16 for Oladipo for the Pacers, 15 for Chuck Person, and 14 for Pacers Paul George. Game number 3 here. It was tied at the end of the first quarter. This game's in OKC. It was close for a while, and the Pacers end up winning. This game, we had Paul George on the Thunder, 24 points, 22 for Thunder Ricky Pierce, 10 for George Hill on the Thunder, and 10 for Thunder Eddie Johnson, 23 for Pacers Paul George, 19 for Chuck Person on the Pacers, 16 for George Hill on the Pacers, and 16 for Victor Oladipo. This is the closeout game for the Pacers. It is in Oklahoma City. We are going to jump in if it's very close, so hopefully we get a close game here. It is relatively close, and we are going to jump in. It is a 6-point Thunder lead with 1:55 to go in the ball game. They are trying to avoid getting swept here. We are going to throw it on the broadcast view just for the end of this game. It is kind of crazy watching a bunch of the same guys guard each other. George Hill with the ball. He gets a screen from, I guess, Derek McKee. Paul George down to Moses Brown, and he gets a good layup to go. Thunder lead by 8 with 1:47 to go. Getting downhill, pull-up mid-range shot, no good for Ricky Sobers. George Hill with the ball here for OKC, swings it to Paul George. 14 seconds on the shot clock. George sets the screen on, George gets screened on by Hill. George now with the ball for OKC, or for Indiana, They're guarding each other. And Paul George on the Pacers gets the bucket. He's got 17 points in 37 minutes tonight on 42% shooting. Derek McKee with the ball for the Thunder. Down to Paul George, and George does not make the layup inside. Chuck Person misses the wide open layup under the basket for Indiana. Here's Paul George with the ball for the Thunder. Drives in, kicks. George Hill does not shoot it. Kicks it to Derek McKee, who gets screened by Moses Brown. 3 from McKee, no good. Rebounded by Detlef Schrempf. They're pushing it with Sobers. He's guarded by George Hill. Pulls it back out. Sobers with the ball. 28 seconds to go. 13 on the shot clock. Sobers, the floater over Hill, misses, and they're going to foul George Hill with 23 seconds to go. Ricky Sobers fouls out. Thunder lead by 6. Hill can make both these free throws to extend the lead to 8. First free throw from Hill was good. This one would put them up by 8 with 23 seconds to go. George Hill, second free throw is good. Pacers are out of timeouts. Here is Paul George with the ball. 21 seconds to go. Kicks to Oladipo. Oladipo, deep 3. He hits it. 5-point game with 18 seconds to go. Thunder inbound to Paul George, who is fouled by George Hill. That's Hill's second. 17.4 seconds to go. That sends George to the free throw line. George did hit the first free throw. That puts the Thunder up by 6 with 17.4 to go. This one would extend the lead to 7 points. And that is good. It gives the Thunder 100 points, 193. OKC leads, 17.4 seconds to go. George Hill takes it up the court, kicks to Sabonis. Sabonis pump fakes, shoots it from 3, rims out, rebounded by Moses Brown, and the Thunder will hold on to the series, winning game number 4. making the Pacers up 3-1 as George Hill dribbles it out. That is game. Taking a look here at the post-game box score, 16-7-3 for Paul George, 14-8 for Ricky Pierce, and 13-6 for Detlef Schrempf for the Thunder. Moses Brown finished with 13-18. For the Pacers, 17-6 for Paul George, 17-10 for Chuck Person, and 16-4 for Oladipo. Another closeout opportunity for the Pacers. This one is a home game, and they absolutely dominate the Thunder here. Huge lead throughout the entire game. And we were going to try to jump in, but the Thunder end up losing, obviously. Paul George is the finals MVP from the Pacers. 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game as the Pacers close it out in 5 games, with the win being 138-101 Indiana. Thank you guys for watching. We are going to be simulating with both the all-time teams as well. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.